Hello, welcome to Sunday evening coffee. There's quite a bunch of people here, so thank you very much for coming along. As always, don't mind doing a bit of a mix-up sometimes, doing a Sunday instead an evening instead of a morning. The reason it is evening is because I fancied the morning off, so hopefully you won't be too mad. So this morning, so yesterday I was at Britcon in Nottingham. And today I was at Britcon in Nottingham. But yesterday I was playing, today I was moseying about. But I did the stream, and then after the stream, I did whatever I do, procrastinate, sit on the sofa for a bit. And then by the time I actually got to Britcon, they were packing up. So I thought I'm going to move the stream so I can get some quality Britcon action in today. And you're still coming along, so thank you very much. I've got lots to show off. I've got something extra cool that I'm moving up to the front because regular viewer Daniel there is not staying for very long. And I thought that'll be a cool thing that you'll like. So wait there, don't go yet. Hey, we've got loads of people. Yes, we've got Jimmy, who I bumped into in a Costa on Saturday morning. So hang on a moment. So yeah, thanks for coming along. Reinvigorating everyone's wargame-ness. So what I've got today, hey, we've got Green Stuff Games. Hello. What have I got here? What did I move that? Wait. Where did I put my notes? I've got very little notes this time. There they are. So we're going to talk pirates, pirate clothes, What a Cowboy, Sydney's unnamed Japanese game. I've got lots to show off from a certain F for Freddy Terra Firma company, which is all around the table, and more of what I've been up to and what will be happening next week. So, and probably some other stuff I forgot because I was just sat here till about 1 minute to be honest. And mug reveal time. I have the old mug. I like the old mug. So, before Daniel goes, I bumped into Katie yesterday, who was in the stream. Hi! And she gave me some cool merch. And it's wicked. Where is that? Oh, I think I saw. Because I wasn't able to be at Pride in Nottingham as a GriffCon, so I missed all that. But Katie's been making lots of. I don't know if it was merch, trans merch. And I got some, and it's wicked. And one is this, which I'm wearing, so it's going to go into my daily wear. And also, I almost went and got my ears pierced today, by the way, but I ended up being at Britcon later than I expected. I was going to go to the place that was recommended and just go, can you just do them? Like, it's going to take seconds. I'm not going to... I've had plenty of piercings before. I just want to wander in and can you just do it? And I'll walk out again. It'll be fine. But by the time I left Britcon, I was like, I'm hot. I'm going to go home. But it has given me the kick up the arse to get the my ears pierced again because I have 0 piercings at the moment. I used to have a lot. Yeah, Kate's got a 3D color printer. This is a color 3D printer, which is pretty mad because they're really cool. So I've got earrings. Look at that. And these hilarious magnets, although I do have to give one to someone else, but I don't know which one yet because I get to choose. But I also have these magnets, which entertained me because when I was putting all of the different Pride dice, which have been restocked, when I was putting those up, I kept pretending that they're all different countries. So I'm going to go for this one and put it on my fridge and gift the other away. And they're just really nice. So thank you, Katie. That was good to see you. And Katie appears to be making lots more of these things. So if you want to plug away, if you're selling them anywhere. But that's going to put that on my fridge. Yeah, goes very nicely on the fridge too. So thanks very much. So that's unrelated to gaming or anything, but I like showing off what people make, and it's cool and it's relevant because people are a bit rubbish to trans people sometimes. So it's nice to have a little symbol that's like, I'm not a dickhead. Maybe is that it? So thanks, Katie, and I hope that gave you a nice little before you have to go to bed, Daniel. I thought you'd like that. See, how nice. I tailor my shows to everyone. See, look at that. I do have lots lots of wargaming haul. I might go into that first, and then I can go into pirates and what I played. I played games. Unfortunately, I've moved my spinny chair here, so it's gonna be a bit spinny. Boo, boo, boo. Let me just sip my coffee, and then we'll continue. So I'm in a very nice feeling after these 2 days at Britcon. So yesterday I played 2 games, and you get kind of a long lunch break, but by the time I've eaten and then got chatting to people, I did have to get collected for my second game. I think they thought I'd ran away because I saw a message later on from Sydney that was something like, "If you're able to come back, please do." Like, oh no, got talking. I was talking to the man from M4 Miniatures, as I've been doing lots of schmoozing this weekend. So I'll do my haul first. I might do a separate haul video as well. So if I do put that up, depends on time, go watch it as well, just so it gets a little like. So Adam in the chat there is one half of F for Freddy, Terra Firma, who I met last year, I think, for the first time, and bought loads of stuff. And this year I bought lots of stuff, and it's mostly going to be for my photos, but at some point I should probably actually play games of stuff. So I'm going to show off what I have purchased. I'll start with Mammoth, actually, and then I'll go on to the Scenics. So Mr. Mammoth Miniatures was there, who was doing the pickups for me. He's very nice. He's kind of local, Leicester, but comes to the meetups. So there are quite a lot of locals there. And I pre-ordered, I think it's one of the first times I've pre-ordered a giant ghoul, and it's resin cast in green. And there's his hands. I need to peel them bits off, but it's all very nice. Got a mega ghoul. And then a bit later on, because I knew he did lots of monsters, oh, that's nice. The viewership hasn't drastically gone after I showed the trans stuff. That gives me a nice faith in humanity. I had a bit of a plunge in my Annie account, not the Squiddo account, the Annie account. I think it's partly just because everyone's leaving Twitter at the moment. But I posted something about trans rights, but I'd also shared Tim Prowl's belly, and I was trying to figure out which one had been more divisive. Yeah, nice. Yes, okay. Oh yes, okay. Was giving a lot of the stuff away at Pride, which I missed, but I will not miss next year. I'll not miss it. I also didn't realise that Nick of Mammoth had been sculpting ladies. You can't quite see it. It's orange. It's an orange lady, which is wicked. So I may even paint her up. I might even do so. I like the casting in colours. It's what I wanted to do when I started, and then those people went, "No, we shouldn't do that." Mm-hmm. Grey does show the detail off better, but I like the fun of them just being in random colours. So, so thank you very much to Mammoth. Also got a nice little card there. So I've got my pile of shown. So what's that? I ran out of time. I was going to buy. I didn't realise the Dave Taylor books that did the Terrain Tutor. I saw him as well. They've done a few the art of books, and I was going to go back to all of them and grab one, but then I realised it was too late. So, but it saved me a bit of money. I'll probably get it next time. I want the Talking Miniatures book as well. So yes, Mr. Adam Hughes. There's Adam and Joe of F for Freddy, who I've become the unofficial mascot for, because I love their stuff, and it's just really nice, and they're really nice people. So I did end up sat on their stand being a mascot earlier. I'm sure I did get some attention over to the stand by going, "Hello, welcome to Scenics." Obviously, after I took everything that I wanted, then other people are allowed. So where should I begin? Because they're all over the table. I have got, so it's pretty much all World War II, I think. Some might be used for other stuff. So these are all handmade by them, and obviously if you followed this for a while, you know how much I love buying scenery. So I got some, again, oh, this is the one that like auto focuses, isn't it? To some degree. Oh, what a treat. Does it? Okay. So I've got these blast markers. Got another one as well. There it is. Under the Dutch barn. Oh, it's so warm. It's so warm. and a smaller one. So they're going to be some good foreground stuff. Let me show you the two. All of these available. Perhaps if you quote Sunday morning coffee, I've not actually organised this with them, but you never know. If you say, saw this on Sunday morning coffee, you might even knock like a quid or something off. But otherwise unaffiliated. I just bought them because they're cool. Which does link to the last couple of weeks where I've said stuff that I like to be very I was going to say integritus. Have lots of integrity. I like that if I say this thing's really cool, it's because I think it's really cool. I will not be purchased. So I've got these two. Whoop. So they're really cool. So there's the blast markers. I got there on Saturday because the games start very early. And it's one of my criticisms of shows that have tournaments, gaming, and trade halls is that there's not much crossover. I feel like there could be some longer delays in the gaming to get people into the trade halls because I didn't really have much time on Saturday in the trade hall. So when I got there, I wanted to make sure I sniped the things that I definitely wanted. So I got there first and did my and then apparently people came looking for stuff, but I'd already got it. I'm not very good at planes, but I have this plane. I'm sure you will tell me. I have this plane that has crashed. Which I thought my Soviet pilots could be coming out of and shooting and stuff. And also ghouls. Ghouls do like to crawl around things. I haven't got much snowy sort of terrain, so I thought, yeah, that'd be cool. So I have that. I will tell you about the games after my haul. This might be my favourite. It is a orchard. Look at that! Look at it! Yes, Daniel, the plane expert there. One of those that used to fly. Yes. That's my plane knowledge. Look how cute that is. So imagine some like my land army or even some of the yes, I do. He did say it was a German plane that's been painted Soviet. So look at that. Look at that. So we've also got it's just really cute, isn't it? And things like my what's the name? Not Fish Lass Maria. The one, which model was like Holder the Herbalist and stuff. My picnic, yeah. I'm gonna get them. There's little buns in there too, and obviously the little pond. And I look at these all from photo purposes. So I'm like, we've got foreground ducks, these in the background, focus, and they're really cute. So I bought that. I get you over there. You over there. A house and a garden. What? So, and a butcher's sign on the side. A little garden. Yeah, and my little civilians hanging around there. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with the house because it does kind of work as is. A bit tempted to make a little vine thing up there, maybe. But there again, I can't remember how much it was. It was like £30 or something. So can't argue with that because I'm doing my bit. I think it was that. Might have been 35, maybe. But it was definitely a auto purchase. I was tempted to get two, but just one this time, just a little puff. And again, they're all ready to go. That is the appeal always for me. So let me put that in. Very affordable, very affordable. I got. What do we do? I got some boats, and they come on clear resin, which makes it very good for actually playing games. But I pried them off, and poor Adam. So it's alright if I try and pry them off after I've purchased, because I do a lot of prying lovely models off of things, and I did it. There's one that still needs a bit more, and I did end up taking the life route, not life routes, little weighty bits. I don't know much about boats and planes, but you'll see. So I got these two, which are very useful for lots of things, including pirates. I did manage to get that off in one, and that I kind of cut around it, but it's fine. It'll work. They were available to order without the things, but I'm impulsive. I don't want to wait. I'll have moved on by then, so I'll just get them as is. So I got some boats. Games, Robert. What is this madness? For photography. But eventually, when I do start playing games, I was talking about this today, I will have lots of terrain. But for now, I mostly use stuff for photography. I got a little boat. It's a little Dunkirk boat, so I could do something with that. Definitely in the background, maybe with some of my waff. This one I failed to get off. I've nearly got it off. I can't find my clippers, so I ended up doing some awkward snapping, and I did take. Sorry, Adam. I did manage to get the little rubber rings off, but there'll just be a little daub of there we are, a little daub of glue. We'll put them back on. But I might as well finish clawing that off first because I am a monster. So all those, I think they were like £10 each for a little boat. So again, like, it's cool. Got some boats. Got that. What have I got here? Little boats known as boatlings until the downy feathers grow out. I got this little defense bit. Thought that could be handy for lots of little bits. Got all my things out. Andy's already had the tour when I got in last night. Although I don't think I've shown him I did show him the extra bits. But I got in and went, I put all these. I have a Mediterranean little garden with a little bit in there. Like, oh, that's cute. What have I got there? Oh. I should read everyone's comments. Yes, pre-made terrain. The problem is if I buy it and it's not done anything with, if it's not, even if it just needs like a bit of paint and a bit of dry brush, I just don't get around to it. So having them already done is awesome. And then if later on I want to add bits to it, it's there. So I thought that's a pretty garden. And again, because I'm thinking of photos, if you look, you can I can put stuff there and do peep throughs of trying to get to the thing, peep throughs through the wall and stuff. So excellent. I think that was the stuff I bought, but also sip of coffee. I bought something off them at Devices because I saw it on their stand, but I wasn't there. So I sent a fellow trader to go and investigate, and I got it purchased and brought up to Britcon, and I'm well chuffed with this because it was perfect timing for the resistance fighters. A Dutch barn? What's inside? I hope nothing illegal. Woo. What? Another plane? Oh no, don't. I may not be able to show you the hole in it, where it's gonna. Ooh. We have a covered plane there, I believe. A British plane. Am I right? An Allied plane for sure. So it's under some blankets. So it's been downed and it's under some blankets. And because I particularly want to do the scenario with Audrey Hepburn rescuing the pilot, it's like, it's perfect. Do more of that. So I was well chuffed with that. So they were all my purchases. So it was quite a lot, but a very good deal. So I was happy to spend on all that stuff, and I would definitely spend fine. I know my planes. I'm calling it not in storage. I'm calling it's been downed and someone's dragged it in. I've put it in there out the way. And Audrey Hepburn's taken the pilot to her parents' house, as she actually did. So I got a fine haul, which is good because I tend not to buy much at shows. It's usually books or handmade terrain. So if someone like F or Freddy Terra Firma, look them up on various places. If anyone like that's there, I do splurge. And the book guy, Mr. Dave Lanchester, wasn't there, so there was no books for me to purchase. But I bought enough. Whereas a lot of shows, I won't buy anything at all because I'm weirdly reserved. Right. Thank you very much to Joe and Alan for all that and for hosting me on their stand. If you write, because it doesn't let you link in the comments, but if you write the name of your company, then people can know where to put it into Etsy and Facebook. There we go. So that was my today. So today I bought all of Dave Lanchester's books. He's retired now because I bought them all. I bought some stuff, I loitered, I chatted. It was nice because I got to chat to a lot. It's quite quiet on the Sunday at Britcon, so I got a chance to catch up with a bunch of my trader friends, pretend to steal off them as I always do because I'm hilarious. I'm like, oops, stole that. Like, we just watched you take it. Movie. So I did some, yeah, I just did some nice chatting and sillying around. Went to Wargames Illustrated room and watched some bill hooks and chatted to Wargames Illustrated, which was nice. Saw Gripping Beast. So I've got in my brain now on a tour. Saw Hayland Terrain. Chatted to a Warlord for quite a bit. I decided I might go to the Warlord Open Day actually, because I've never had a snoop around there. Is anyone going? Anyone here going to that? I might have a bit of a snoop because I've been around Mantic and it was really nice just seeing. I get nerdy for like racking and storage, so I like seeing how bigger people do stuff like that. It's September. It's something like 21st of September, so I might go. So it's obviously Warlord we're talking about that. I thought, I might go. I might go in a fake moustache. Be like, what about Squiddo? That's not me at all. No. Espionage. So yeah, I've just never had a nosy around there, so I might go have a nosy. As soon as I am in their old offices, I could go, I'm in your old place. And when you move, I'll come here too, because I'm always one step behind. But I don't want to move there. They've got a massive place now, like a little one. So the Warlord, there was who else? I saw Wendy from West Wind. I've not seen her in ages. Epigram was there. Void Scar and Ironclad for the first time. M4 for the first time. They had some new ownership, so we had a nice little chat about their walled farm. Because I inherited one from Michael Hobbs, and I didn't realise that it came pre-painted because I was like, that was painted exactly the same as Hobbs is. So that answered that question that I'd had. So chat to them. Mammoth, obviously. Maz, what's his company? Winterdyne. I do think maybe I do know everybody. Winterdyne. F for Freddy, Sarissa, Dave Thomas. So there's quite a lot of really good traders there. The Pit, some strangers, some new folk. So yeah, that was. It's hot. It is warm. My brain is melting. So it was really nice. Got to walk around, drink some coffee, chat to some people. Saw Curtis from Ramshackle, who wasn't trading but was also having a bit of a nose. And then we go back to Saturday. And a coffee. Well, I don't know why I'm drinking a hot coffee. It's tradition. What else? So, Saturday, I played What a Cowboy for the first time, but it was changed into Zulu time, so it was kind of dubbed What Zulu, but it was one that I thought that could be an interesting because I want to try the rule system out. The great thing about the Lardy days is you don't need to bring anything, so that's great. So I don't need to build or paint anything, and I don't need to know any rules because there's always people there that know the rules. So I'll always recommend, if you can and want to, going to a Lardy day. It's called that because the company is TooFatLardies and they make lots of games. Chain of Command is the biggest one, and I've worked with them before to do British Homefront rules and maybe more. They're very stressed because they were one of the people who got hit with the websites that all went kaput. So poor old Richard's been building all that. So I'd also point people over there if you want to purchase. Their rules work very nice with my figures. Yes. So we played that. We had to just escape the table basically, and I did get my guys. It was based on a specific historical event, which I want to look up because I'm interested. Because I like that they had the specific people that were involved on both sides of it, so you could read a little bit. So I'm going to read up about who the people were. So I took photos of all. The two people I were managing were William and Bob. Bob didn't get off to a very good start. So I did make a backstory about how it was his final day. he's been doing this a long time. He just wants to go back to his wife and kids. And I think that got him through. So he managed to get off the board in the end. I was like, oh, good lad, good lad. He may have been a horrible, horrible man, but I don't know anything about it. But in my game, my made-up game, it was good old Bob. So Bob got out of there, Bill got out of there. I played with the guy running it was called Simon. There was also a Simon, a Alistair, and a Martin. I've remembered everybody's names this time. We had a really nice game. And it's always, for me, it's, well, imagine everyone really, it's who you play it with, and they were just really fun. We had a nice time, and it's just like, it's easy to pick up, because they put them in a way, they don't do, the full rules, so it's just easy to sort of get what you're doing, and then you just get to do the fun bits rather than, and because the person running it knows it very well, then you can, you don't have to keep looking for stuff going, what do we do? He just goes, roll a 4, roll a 4. So that was quite a good narrative sort of game. It's not a period I've played before, and obviously the reality of it isn't fun. So it was one of the weird ones, but the actual game was awesome. But I probably won't get into that period. This is one of there's a few periods I just find a little bit too awkward. To get into, but I don't. Again, it's a whole other topic. I don't judge anyone. Just personally, there's some bits that I'm a bit like, but the game is good, and the rules are good, and it makes me want to pick up What a Cowboy and see how it works as the full thing. And in cowboys shooting each other, it's probably fine. I'm just a soft lefty. Why do I play war games? I don't know. War was really horrible, but the games are fun. So I played that. That was good. Oh, look at that. Adam knows what was going down. Yeah, it was Prince Louis something. Because that was Alistair's character, and he was being quite a coward. Louis, not Alistair. I had no honour in that game because apparently you're supposed to wait for your higher officer to mount his horse before you do. But it was Bob's last day, so he was just like, see you later, guys. So I shamefully ran off. I did get a reputation for being a horse killer. I have killed no horses, real or fictional, I'll have you know. I just had actions left and I didn't know what to do with them, so I did ask if I could shoot the horse. It was stuck in a swamp. And it was a mercy, but I didn't do it. So it's, I did post something horrible on Instagram stories, and I got loads of angry messages. I'm like, yep, I asked for that. I took a picture of my little horse in the swamp on the Instagram stories, and then the next picture I put, no Artex, don't let the sorrow engulf you. Yeah, I did spring horrific never-ending story trauma onto people. That was pretty cruel of me. I probably lost some followers. It was one day from retirement. So that was good. And the Friday, I was actually in one of my pre-event grumps that I'm sure nobody else ever has, where you're like, I'm not going to go. Why did I agree to the thing? I've had a bit of just a very full-on week. So I was really tired Friday. I was getting tired and emotional. I was like, I can't think about rules. What am I doing? But then I realised I needed a little nap. And then I was okay. So I haven't got both lights on here. I've just noticed it's a bit... Give me a second. I'm gonna wheel over and put the other light on. Bye. It's me off now. Hey, look, 2 lights. And I'm back. That was the guy, the Prince Imperial. So I'm very glad that I went. I'm very glad. I did that last week as well with Bring Out Your Lead, where I was like, shall I go? So again, proof, future Annie, to make yourself go to the thing, because you'll have loads of fun. So the second game was Sydney Roundwood's game, which I've now played 3 years in a row till the last sword is drawn. It was in a musketeer setting, but it's now in a Japanese, I can't remember what period of Japan it's set in, someone will tell me. But that's the one that's on the spinny table. That's what I take away from it. It's on a spinny table. I'm almost getting the hang of playing it now. My once a year game. But I did annoy Sydney by being the 13th person to ask him when the rules are being published. I'm like, publish the rules. But obviously, there's a very big backlog with Lardies where there's lots of rules to get out, but only so many people. So it's still in the sort of demo-y sort of stage, but I really like it. It's a nice game. There's lots of real nice quirks to it. Sydney's lovely, so it's one of those I'd auto buy as soon as it comes out. And I played with the guys from the first game, so I mentioned my lack of honour. So I was with Alistair, who I'd played with, although we were all playing together, but because of the way of the table, it was like, it's a cooperative game, but also I'm leaving your guy. I'm leaving that guy behind. And Simon, who I'd been killing in the previous game, he did give me a look when they said it's a game of honour. I was like, I do have honour. I have loads of honour. But we won the game against Andy and Matt with more honour than the table could handle. So there. So I really enjoyed both of the games. It's nice to play something different. I have played that same game 3 years in a row, but I made sure, so I had so much fun last year playing Boats with Charlie, which is totally not what it's called. It was the Napoleonic boat game. Kiss Me Hardy, that's the one. And I was very tempted to put down, because you get to choose and then they try and allocate you. And I was tempted to just do the same games. I was like, nope, I'm going to play something different. So that was good. So I'm going to do that again next year. Choose one that I've played before and then something a bit different. The first year I played Chain of Command and it was too much for me. So I've kind of auto-crossed those off. So it helps me choose now. Because Windy Boat Game. Because I really enjoyed it and I want to properly play it. But because I didn't know the rules, and it was when Nick of Richard and Nick had the beautiful board, and it was a lovely game, but it gets really loud in there. So because I didn't know what I was doing, and we were in pairs, they were quite far away, so it just took a lot of brain power to try and sort of figure out what was going on. But if I finally get around to playing properly, then it'd be easier to do an event, because there were some wonderful games going on there. But I'm sticking to the ones for now where it's just, I want to go there. What do I need to roll? I want to do that. What do I need to roll? Jez has a good point. Has anyone filled in the Wargames Soldiers and Strategy survey? There's a video. I did put a very clickbait thing up there. But you should do that because they've been pestering me to advertise it. So I did say to them, okay, fine, I'll do a video. So I did a little video on that. James, the lady games, the lardy games looked beautiful, less so some of the comp games. I feel there was a story missing with some of those competition games. I meant to go and find out and I forgot. But I feel like something happened, which was why, because it wasn't consistent against that event. So I feel like there was something else going on there. So, but yeah, the lardy games were beautiful. Problem with tournament games is you have to have standardized terrain, and they can quite often look a bit dull, which is a shame because there's so many cool bits you can do. You end up with the same like hills and removable trees. Yes. The survey, partly because they were nagging me, and I went, fine. I do tend to do a video every year for them. But also, I want to see the results, because there were some good questions. There seemed to be some different questions in there this year, and I like a good stat. So obviously, the more people who fill them in, the more stats. I was like, oh, stats I could use, because it's things like how much do you spend, where do you play, how many people do you play with and stuff. And they're all very interesting. One for me just liking stats, and two for a bad Squiddo nefarious purposes. And they're going to get more people to fill in than if I did a survey. So it's quite interesting. I do want to do a survey as well. So oh yeah, it said something like what there should there be more of or something, and I put something like bad Squiddo. This is an anonymous fill in for sure. So yeah, I've got a link to that on a previous video where I threaten various figurines if you don't do it. So yeah, I played the 2 games. I didn't go out for the curry, controversially, but it was a good decision because it is hard to believe, but I can be a bit of a monster if I'm out on the town. And I thought, "Oh, I'm not really into it anymore, but I either have 2 beers or I have 20 beers and become some sort of 90s style ladette. And I thought, I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. Though they were going to a very nice restaurant and it's hanging out with more people. By the time I'd done my 2 games, I thought I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna do some gardening. So I did that. I thought I'm more likely to then come back on Sunday than if I'm very ill on Sunday from drinking beer with people who can drink a lot more beer than me. I think that's part of the issue. Because most of the time, if I do go beering, it's with gentlemen that can consume a lot of beer and be fine, and then I get into my it's not even a feminist thing, just my own stubbornness of like, "Oh, I can drink as much as you, even though I am like smaller and smaller, and there's that whole what's it, muscle mass thing or something, but anything that I cannot handle the beers that they can handle. So I do for a bit and I'm like, yeah, I am just like one of you, and then I'm dead and they're still fine, and then I look like a tit. So I didn't go out. But yeah, that was wise. I got to see I got to see fellow woman Carol. Carol was playing in the event, and we got to hang out. I believe she's either on her way back or just really tired, so I don't think she's in the stream today. But when she watches this, yay! It was awesome to hang out with Carol. She's one who's normally in the comments there, Carol Flint. She was playing some games, and she was back this morning to play some games. That was really nice. That was like, yay. So I saw lots of people. I saw lots of people this weekend, and that's made me nice and happy. With no sort of expectation. What I liked about today is that I didn't have to go. I had no reasoning. I was going to leave because I bought a bunch of stuff from F for Freddy, and I was going to leave the box to make me have to go back on the Sunday. But I thought, no, if I don't fancy going on Sunday, I'll make so I've got no obligations. It'll be all choice, and I did. I chose to go, and I had a lovely time. And that's what it should be. That is what it should be. Yeah, it was just really nice. It's a quiet show. There's reasons I don't trade there. I feel it could be better for traders because it can get very quiet. I feel they need a lot more advertising because I really want there to be a really successful Nottingham show. And none of them have quite managed it yet. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like the shadow of GW looms or something. But I feel there's so many gamers in Nottingham, and there was a lack of the younger people. I feel like not. Don't worry, older people. Just that I thought there's so many people in this literal catchment area that don't know about games outside of Games Workshop, but they don't know that this is on. I'm like, if you could get those in just to see some of those beautiful tables, you could convert a lot of people, but they don't know it's on. So it's that sort of lack of advertising. But hopefully, as it's only been the 3rd year here, so hopefully word will get around a bit more. But for now, at least, I'm going to enjoy playing on Saturday, loitering on the Sunday, rather than being a trader. It's very hot. I think I'd have been. So if I was trading, I'd be absolutely knackered now, and I'd probably have tomorrow off, be a bit knackered Tuesday, be more knackered Wednesday, and then before I know it, it's Friday. And that's what happens at shows, which is why I tend to just do the big ones. And I feel like I'm always like, I'm too big. I'm too big for these little shows. But it's more that I lose the same amount of energy no matter what size of the show. So if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it where there's like super dollar. Just so it's like more what you put in, what you get out, sort of thing. If you're going to a show to sort of socialise, I might as well go and socialise rather than under the guise of socialising but working, if that makes sense, because it is that totally. So I've been trying to say the last sort of couple of weeks, that it's that totally different headspace, whether you're in work mode or non-work mode. So being in non-work mode for the last 2 days and the show last week, which I will now get into. It is turning into one of those 1 hour long shows. So thank you for sticking around. Thanks for sticking around. It's been a really intense couple of months, maybe 3 months. Well, I feel like March onwards has been really intense. So we've obviously got, it's that busy part of the year because we've got Salute and Expo, which the time in between seems to disappear. And I've just been doing really heavy task into really heavy task, and that overdue task and overdue task, and barely sort of coming up for breath. So which is why it was extra good to be able to chill out this weekend and last Saturday. But it's been a lot of these, like, I just want to go into work and go, what shall I do today? How shall I change the world? But so it's like, right, I've got to do this, got to do this. And there's lots of unfulfilling tasks as well. So sure, it's like paperwork and stuff. But I am near the end. I'm near the end. I'm at a point where I can start going, yes, the bit of the job I like the most can return. I actually wrote an article amongst other stuff this week. Daniel's off. Goodbye. Good night. Danny's nighttime show. I wrote an article for a magazine this week. It's probably obvious which magazine it is, but I'm not going to jinx it in case anything goes wrong or they go, we can't publish this, it's too controversial. I wrote 1,800 words about women in history for one of the big magazines that isn't Miniature War Games. It is not. It is a different magazine. And there's only 3 big magazines, so hopefully will be published shortly. It'd be awesome if it is. And hopefully, as long as the reception is okay, I'd like to do more writing. I want to do more writing and more talks. So the article is kind of a more formalized version of my talk. So I'm quite interested to see how that goes down. It took a lot of editing, but I'm also then concerned about how they might edit it. So I have asked if I can have a little look before it goes out. Because due to the sensitive nature of it, if anything's edited where I look like I might say something slightly different, it's just gonna, you know what it's like, cause me more grief than it's worth. But I'm really chuffed because I've wanted to write that article for ages, and I gave myself a deadline which was way too tight because of everything else going on, but it's done, it's submitted, yes. So hopefully I'll be able to show you that soon, because I think it will be going into the next episode, the next edition of that. So that's been really good. But yeah, everything's just been like typey, sorty. The day is gone. I'm in bed. It's the next day. The last task. Just thinking about it. Sit back. We got Wicker Man's here, but it's we're still going if you're about. But it's all right if you want to catch up later in the week. But it's nice to see you. Bye. So hang on, I should finish this coffee. Your Leeds Armory sellout tour. Oh god, what's my battery on, by the way, as well? That's doing a little. Oh, what are you on? Go on, let me look. 35%. What does it mean? Right. So there you go. It just means the battery's gone. Yeah, this is. I never want to be like, I've got so much work to do about Squiddo, because it's still my dream job. So even doing that, but it just means that I've been really tired. I haven't engaged very much because I've just been going zombie mode. One more task is the community minis, because again I've let it overspill a little bit. You've all been wonderful about it, as you always are. But it's my own thing. It's one of those, I go to bed and I'm like, community minis, haven't done community minis. I put a foolish thread up on Maggie's Cave Friday. I don't know how many people saw it, but I decided at about 5 o'clock, I posted, right, it's a lock-in. I'm not going home till I've got the designs for Anne Bonny, Mary Read, Olga of Kiev, sent the briefs to Alan, posted it on the blog. And then about 10 minutes later, I went, I'm really tired. Why did I do that? And I thought, well, it means that my whole plate is cleared and I can go to the event. And I thought, I'm going to be up really late. And I've been struggling with Mary Read's pose. And I was getting upset that I couldn't figure out a pose for her. I thought, I could just have a little nap. I was just tired. So it's not finished, but I'm hoping Monday, Tuesday, I will get those all complete. And Bonnie is designed. I'd show you, but my phone's on 6%. The tablet's on 35. I'll see if I can bring it. I can't remember who I would have sent it to go, look at this. Who did I send it to? Maybe my caster. What did I say to him? Oh, I sent him the Artex picture. I sent him, yes. That's my sketchy so far for Anne. Oh, it looks white. There we are. Anne Bonny. Ooh. Just very secretive. Whoa! You can see it at an angle. Hey, there she is. I wanted her to be wearing, this is focused out, but I wanted her to be wearing clothes, just clothes of the time that are fancy, because she's gone on to land and the pirates gone to land and are wearing all the fancy looted clothing. So I wanted it to be very fancy. But rather than make two figures that look the same, I could do like one in fancy version and one in deckhand sort of version. So I've got Mary Reed's. Because her clothes are less elaborate, I want to make sure that with the pose, it's a more simple figure, but still a really nice one. And I was looking around at other poses, and I was like, there's sword on the floor on leg, and gun up or gun that way. There's gun on leg, sword there. So going through all the standardized poses, I'm like, I want a different pose. The one I sketched, I'll show you, but I zoomed her out there, but you can be blessed with my failure because there's too much going on, so I'm going to change it. Without, again, you can only see it in a strange angle, but there's a glimpse of what was going on Friday. But she's kind of like shooting and waving her sword at the same time, so I want to make it so she's just doing one or the other, and the other bit's sort of there. Yes, I would like to do Grace O'Malley, but I have to do Mary Reed. I have to do Mary Reed and Anne Bonny as they were voted by the community. But I would like to do Grace O'Malley as well, because she does go in the Elizabethan bit, and they did meet, didn't they? I think. But only if she gets voted for, although I'm a bit pirated out at the moment. So I've been reading, I haven't got the books here, but I've got two really good books on pirate women from history. So I've been reading a lot about that. Really enjoyed researching Anne Bonny and Mary Reed because there's lots of myths, but there's also facts. So I ended up going through trial records. So there is written trial records of them. So they did exist. There's facts of what they did. And then there's obviously lots of crazy tales. So part of designing these pirates has been making, like everything, making them cool figures and also making them realistic and historical. So like Ching Shi, for example, I changed a lot from how she's commonly perceived because I decided that I personally know better what she looked like. But there's a lot of characters from history, you kind of have this instinct of what they look like. They probably didn't. If I wasn't so close to being on like for hours, I'd go a bit more into it. I can start. But they wore men's clothes, but then there's not much evidence for sort of where they did or whether the crew knew. And I'm going for the crew knew, and they weren't so much disguised as just wearing the clothes that you wear when you're on a boat, rather than that like, aha. Because I'm very tired, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Mary that served in the army, and that would have been as disguise. Although I did like the story where she lets one of her like army mates know she's a woman, but in a way that it's by accident. So I think at some point she's kind of like, oh no, oh no, my top has fell down or something, and ends up marrying the guy. But then he doesn't become a main character because he dies. I want to do the little videos that kind of no more than 10 minutes on all these characters in my fun and zany way. People who saw my talk who are in this chat can attest to my, as I will now be riding forever the compliment of natural charisma. Natural charisma. Because there's lots of misinformation about them. I found it really interesting pouring through, and we'll never know. But it's nice to have a little bit, people like that where there's a lot of legend. I don't want to make them boring. I don't just have them wearing standard stuff and being like, they still want to be cool figures, but I like to also talk about why I've made them a certain way. So that's why I think it's a good talking point to do one on crew gear, but it's effectively pajamas, so it's styling it so that she looks more interesting than just wearing pajamas effectively, and still a cool figure that you like. That's a badass pirate. So I was also for Anne Bonny, because she's in the fancy stuff, I was looking at how people have depicted Calico Jack, who was in their gang, because that's, he's wearing very fancy man's clothes, and I think that they would, when they were dressed up, would have worn very fancy men's clothes, probably women's clothes as well, but I like the angle of them as in that sort of piratey piratey gear, because there's plenty in sort of women-y dress from them, but accurate pirates. Looking through, because I'm like, I always do a bit of a look through of what other people have done and try and avoid, try and do something a bit different. Whoo, the Anne Bonnies and Mary Reads out there are definitely not historical, so I definitely want to be on like the historical side. But as always, historical but cool, not just a really boring figure. And it's a shame that a lot of people do equate historical with boring. You can still make really cool figures, which hopefully I do. Hopefully. So I've been really interested in pirates of late. The books are at the office, aren't they? Yes, they are. Those two books, yeah, they're at the office at the moment. I didn't realise that there was a part of where I've got Jean de Clisson. There were two other Jeans, and it was called like the Battle of the Jeans, because there were three Jeans. Like, people throughout history are very uninventive with names. So I then got distracted about other periods of pirates. I've just been in this whole pirate fever. And then Matt Slade was running his pirate game yesterday, so I was looking at all that, getting all excited, and looking at the pirate figures going, what are the standard 5 pirate poses? So I may end up just going for a standard pirate pose, but I might switch it up, make it a bit cooler. So I don't think from my research that they had, those massively curved swords. They were more sort of, but a little bit like those swords, rather than that is my official swordingness. What else have I got? So early this week, I am going to be prioritizing finishing those, getting them on the blog, getting Olga of Kiev done as well, who I can see in my mind what she's going to look like. Flaming pigeons, like that, flaming pigeons. And the wind gusting behind her as she wreaks havoc of the flaming pigeons. So she might take me a little less than the others. Flaming pigeons. But that will be awesome. The reason I think I got so stuck on Mary and Anne is trying to make them more interesting than the million pirates that are out there, so that you'd go, yep, I'm going to get those as pirate characters rather than just generic. And I do put a lot of time into all this, and I feel you appreciate it. I say I hope you appreciate it, but I know that you do, so that's okay. Rather than just go, do a pirate, put it in pirate gear. There you go. So that'll be first in the week, and then as soon as Alan's raring to go, as soon as he's got the sculpts, I can get the artwork to Marty. Still haven't relaunched community minis, so it'll be good once they're sort of cleared to be able to get community minis relaunched, do the new, figure out how I'm going to do it, and then get the next load voted for, because there's been some really good suggestions in Baggy's Cave and just kind of around the place. And some that I want to make. I might slip into the nominations there. So that's the start of the week. I've got loads of emails that I haven't replied to, which I want to get around to, because again, it's just been this like my ongoing comparison is the Wallace and Gromit, where he's on the train and he's just like laying the tracks out while the train's going. It's just been like that. And time that I have when I haven't been working, I've either been lying in the hammock, lying across the sofa, as Andy is used to finding me, just kind of like in this corner. I've got a corner sofa, so just kind of like in the corner sofa on TikTok going, this is all the brain I have. But I'm hoping to be able to be a bit more freed up and a bit less manic at the moment. And then I can start making some real progress with Gunny Pets and with the Resistance Fighters, which are coming out. I've got the barn. I was talking to another magazine. Again, there's only 3 of them, so I was talking to another magazine about doing some articles, more writing about some of these World War II people. I'm really chuffed that it's being talked about more at the moment. So I met Claire Mulley earlier in the year, who wrote the Agent Zoe book, which I still haven't finished. I read really quickly for a big chunk of it, because I'm going to make a mini of it. And Claire's a really good writer as well. It gets my attention, because some I really struggle with following what's going on. She's really good. She's really passionate about it. And she's just on tour at the moment talking about these resistance fighters. She also wrote the Christina Scarbeck book. she's in a show that's on Channel 4. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. So Channel 4, I can't remember what the show's called, but I'll find it and I'll link it in Baggy's Cave and I'll put it on Twitter. I think most people are in either one of the two. I'm still using Twitter. I know loads of people are quitting it, but I've got a big audience, and everywhere's terrible, so I might as well stay there. What I did like, why's my brain died? One of the authors that I like a lot, but my brain has died as to what her name is. She put a good post up. She'd left and then came back and went, no, I'm not going to let the scum take over this website. Like, yes, because all the good people leave and then it is just horrible. But if the good people stay, then we can make it a better place. What have we got? Oh, Jamie, I suppose there's a massive plot twist. GW could be restarting historicals and you were talking to White Dwarf. Yes, that's what I was doing. But I could start the rumour. I could. What else before I go? I think I've throughout the course of this stream, I've just slowly melted. Tim's done the survey. Excellent. What else? Resistance fighters. Yeah, so there's a 3-part show, which has got what's it? Oh, can everyone see Andy's now a moderator? Which reminds me I need to message Jill. But I instantly made Andy a moderator last week. But can you see that he's a moderator, or is it just me that can see? Does he have a little wrench by him? So Andy's got the power now, which is a bit dangerous. You can see his spanner. Oh my. Yeah, it means he can take on any of you. I know, I've given him too much power. I'm gonna get Jill in on this, so we've got some sort of balance before Andy starts raining terror down upon us all. But I figured out how to do it, so that's good. So I will do it. I don't know how to do it, but I figured it out now. I think I almost gave my entire channel to Andy in the process, but I'm safe now. Robert says, why are pirates called pirates? Because they are. Is that or maybe there's actually a nice historical thing as an answer. That would be a good subversion. Like that. Oh yeah, the Scottish lass is a safer choice. So yeah, Resistance Fighters, telly, Channel 4. I don't have telly. I'm one of those people, but it's on 4 on demand. So I'm going to look it up because there's 3 parts about various women of World War II. So that'll be really good. See you later, Wicker Man. There's not much more to the show. I'll be leaving shortly once I've thought, what are the other things I was going to tell them? I think I've got a weekend next weekend where I'm not doing anything. I bought the guinea pigs earlier in the year, I bought them a new outside run and realised I've not used it at all, which shows how little I've been at the house at leisure. So I thought I need to get them outside before it turns into the sudden winter that we get. My garden is good. I've been spending a lot of time watering the garden, but that saves me from sitting in despair at any point. I'm like, I could just sit and rot, or I actually need to do 8 million loads of water to the garden because I don't have an outside tap. So gardening has been helping. I think that is mostly it. I've been talking quite intensely. I got this. I got a nice beer mat, which I quite like. Ooh. Ale Caesar. Sorry, Warlords, because they have one called a Britcon Ale. And there was a new one, Ale Caesar, this time. But the Britcon Ale, I decided was nicer. So there, take that, Stallard. I'm sure brewed the beer himself, choosing carefully all of the hops. But I like that there's two beers now at the thing. That's cool. Jill said the cursed phrase, Castle Peak still on the go. I actually mentioned it today to Adam. It's been on such a holding. It was because I wanted to finish it for Gregor, and then Gregor died, and it kind of just went into the unfinishable task. But it's so close. But now I have less pigs. I don't know if it will fit in their pen. But I did decide that even if I don't use it, I'm going to finish it so I can sell it because it's I love it. When it's complete, it's going to be such a lovely piece of art. So I would like to pass that on. Rob says, no Spanish Civil War yet. No, it's going to be its own project. It will come, but patience. I've got to do a bunch more World War II. But what I'm hoping is somebody from Spanish Civil War will get voted in the community minis, and that will start the catalyst. So, right, so it's like the cathedral took hundreds of years to make. One day, Pig Castle will be complete. I'll have no pigs left at the time, but it will be finished. But I really want to finish it just because it's a really nice little project. My current unfinishable project is the MDF painting tray, which I'm just never. I can't paint anything till the tray is assembled. I make these silly rules and then I can't do it. So at one point I said I can't do any painting minis till I finish Pig Castle, and it meant that I didn't do Pig Castle or painting minis. And now I'm looking at it. I've got this MDF thing. I've just got to glue the edges on it, and I've got a painting desk. I mean, if Andy really wanted me to do some painting, he could assemble it whilst he's been at the house. It would be worth it for all the painting that I would do, and then I could play games with him. Yeah. Like this video if Andy should assemble my little painting thing that will take 5 minutes, but I can't do it. I can do it, my brain can't do it. Are your various schools going to Parliament Old World Vampire Camps? That was the plan. But very soon I'm going to be more mega into gunny pets, but I still want to be rebuilding this undead army, because what's the word? God, I'm so warm. The undead army is just being built for anything, but I do have the stuff to make it old world. But so maybe I'll get it played before they put in a new edition or something. And it's probably for the best that they're not supporting it, because then there's less chance of things actually changing, which would be good. Right. Oh, Green Stuff Games, dinner is ready. Enjoy your dinner. Having anything nice? Oh, Andy says the house is littered with good intentions. It is. I have lots of good intentions. Right. I think that's all I am gonna do. I'm gonna go melt now. Yeah, Jamie. So I think I'll get my high elves painted up just before they kill Old World again. Yes. I've heard that the Terrorgeist and Screaming Spam is in, and ooh, maybe. Oh, I didn't tell you. I watched a game of Trench Crusade on Thursday and thought this looks like a nice game. But whilst I was watching it, I was yawning massively, so I didn't watch the entire game. So I went, I'm gonna go to bed. And now I've made myself actually yawn. Amazing! What a skill. Also, and Annie's brain feedback, there is an exhibition on in London about women spies in World War II. So I'll have to go to that, I guess. Because I was like, oh, I haven't got on my planner. I've got my little train stickers, and I haven't. When I was sorting August out, I went, oh, I haven't got anywhere to put my little train stickers. So I might have a little London-y trip and see what else I can squeeze in at the same time. Right, thank you all for coming, especially because I've got a different time. It was good to see you if I saw you at the weekend, which was a whole bunch of people. So thank you all for coming along. I hope a nice Sunday night, got you all set up for Monday. I'm going to go dunk in some water, I think. And I will see you all maybe next Sunday. I don't think I've got anything else, so goodbye. I always feel sad to go, but bye.